The countdown to the April 8th total solar eclipse is certainly on this morning. Each day gets us a little bit closer.
Yeah, Megan Solinsky joins us live with where kids and families can go to learn more about the eclipse. Good morning, Megan.
Good morning, Mark, Tracy. The planetariums at both Penn State Behrend and PennWest Edinburgh want to make sure that you are educated for that solar eclipse and even give you a pair of glasses to stay protected. Every Saturday morning, Penn State Behrend will host 2 shows about the solar eclipse at the Yahn Planetarium from now until the big event on April 8th.
For us to have this happen right over our heads is pretty unique.
The first show is at 10 and is geared towards children. The second at 11:30 is open to everyone. PennWest is also hosting shows that are free to the public. This series, called The Greatest Show on Earth, aims to educate the public ahead of the total solar eclipse.
Because on April 8th, it will be the greatest show on Earth here through Erie County.
Planetarium Director Dr. David Hurd tells us that their whole emphasis at PennWest is education surrounding this big event.
Our whole emphasis is we want you to understand what is occurring on April 8th in your backyard.
The show at PennWest is free, but it does require reservations. So we have this QR code here to take you to that form, as well as Penn State Behrend's for updates on those shows on Saturday. Their admission is $5 for adults and $3 for children. And of course, both locations will be giving you a pair of these glasses. From the studio, Megan Solinsky, Erie News Now.
Thanks for that, Megan. The Erie Port Authority is looking for new leadership this morning.
Yeah, it's not the first time in the last couple of years we have said that. The port's current boss now leaving after less than a year since his hire. Port Authority Director Martin Lamar announcing plans to leave that $175,000 a year job as the port's executive director less than 12 months after he was hired. He reportedly told the port's board he's leaving for another job, but didn't offer specifics. Lamar assumed the role here in Erie February 6 last year, reportedly telling the Erie Times News then that he had no plans to quickly move on from Erie. That was reportedly his 4th different job in the last 5 years at that point. Lamar apparently going to stick around for the April 8th total solar eclipse. His last day as port boss, April 9th. Well, the local tourism promotion group Visit Erie, they hosted a party last night. It was meant to basically kick off this year's edition of Erie Restaurant Week. It's coming up pretty quickly. Friday's the start date.
15 of this year's 45 participating restaurants gathered at the Intermodal Hub on the Bayfront offering samples. They call it Restaurant Week, but it actually lasts 10 days. And it's all about encouraging people to dine out here at home. You can make your reservations now. Erie Restaurant Week runs January 19th through the 28th. Speaking of dining out, more big changes are happening at downtown Erie's flagship city food hall.
There's certainly been a lot of turnover in that space since the Erie Downtown Development Corporation opened it up a couple years back. EDDC leaders do say IPA Pizza is now going to be moving into the flagship city food hall. That news comes a day after Perry's Tavern announced it would be leaving. EDDC leaders say the food hall is actually meant to serve as an incubator for local entrepreneurs rather than a permanent location.
So in the food hall, as most people have noticed, there's turnover. That's part of the design of this place. It's meant to be an incubator, a proving ground for local businesses that want to take a shot at operating in our downtown core.
IPA Pizza set to open up its flagship City Food Hall location next Monday. A lot of folks have been enjoying that in a food truck. So yeah, we'll see it downtown just off Perry Square pretty soon.
Yeah, we all love our pizza, but today is one of those super chilly days. It's so cold out there.
Chili's in the food or soup, anything that keeps us warm, AJ.
Yeah, the coffee as well as some hot tea, possibly some hot chocolate this morning. All of them good to go. So yeah, hit up some local coffee shops or possibly hit up Tim Hortons, Dunkin' Donuts as well. They're both pretty good in my opinion. Let's take a look at our Gary Miller at the mall cam. 7 degrees. Our temperatures, you can see more in the way of those green bars. So looking like a dry day here as we continue through the morning hours into the afternoon. The sun shining brightly, especially for inland spots. I do think we'll see some pockets of cloud cover, especially closer to the lake shore where that lake effect snow band still is hanging over Lake Erie. But once again, traffic moving nicely right now. You can see more of a glisten down there on our roadway. So not snow covered, but definitely a little bit wet in and those side roads most definitely are still snow covered by the city, so make sure you're taking it slow nonetheless. Bitter start, cleanup continues. Sun returning as well. Didn't see a whole lot of that yesterday. It peaked out a couple of times after that snow band pushed on to the north. 20 degrees our afternoon high into Erie, 18 Meadville, and take a look at our departures from normal. We were well above average for the end of December, but mid-January, yeah, it really has been cold, and today more of that with those temperatures 10-20 degrees below where we should be, or near our averages. So we do see fluctuations, of course, in the temperature. A better fluctuation, more warmth coming next week. Details on that coming up after the break.
6:39, our mobile storm tracker out on the roads this morning, right down there by UPMC Hammond, not too far off the Bayfront, as had drivers moving along with some fairly good road conditions, certainly improved from yesterday. You might run into some icy spots, though. We'll keep giving you these live looks at the local road conditions as we head towards 7 o'clock.
And it was a sticky situation for a seagull named Snappy. Find out who came to the rescue after frigid temperatures left him frozen.